Welcome to Stretch and Relax. My name is Kristen. So what I would like to do in this combination is begin with the lower back, kind of a lower back therapy beginning, which will include the legs and the hips. All of that kind of comes together. And we'll work on that maybe for the first 20 minutes is what I'm imagining. And then I want to bring it up into the upper body. And so an upper body shoulder care, so a couple deep stretches for the shoulders and such. So yeah, that's my idea for today. So the things you might need. We're going to start off in butterfly. So I'm going to set my pillow aside. So you might want some kind of padding for the knees. We'll be on knees at some point. And I will use the scarf once or twice along the way. So have your strap. So starting in your butterfly, it's with the feet further out. And you're just going to practice using this position, practice moving the lower spine. Okay, so I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I mean. So you want to practice using your shins, your legs to pull you forward. And then feel a strength here and tuck back. So drawing that forward and drawing it back. So that little movement is something I want to use quite a few times within the lower back therapy. So I wanted to show it to you there. So we get to lay on our back. It's the best way to release the lower back. So I'll have you lay down. I'm going to turn this way. And bring one knee in, the other leg extends long. Move that up there. And at first what you're doing is you're just trying to stretch them long away from each other. So you're pulling this knee up and pressing that leg as far as you can. Take a deep breath there. Now keeping that, check into that foot that's way down there, and I want you to flex and point it, maybe 4 or 5 times. You might even notice that movement. Do you feel how it connects up your leg? Kind of gently moving into this hip flexor. And then just having that foot relaxed, I'm going to put my hand on the hip and over the top here and open that leg. Your eyesight definitely could be up. So if you can avoid constantly turning to look at me, that you can have your eyesight up, that would be awesome. So take a deep breath or two here. And then bring it back up and we'll switch to the second leg. So pulling it in, other one extends long. Now you feel the long stretch between the two. Deep breath here. And then down into that foot that's way far away. Flex and point that foot. Relaxing that foot, then open this knee, hand goes onto this hip, and just open it out. Eyesight up, shoulders settle back. And then bring that back up. So now for this next piece, I want your knees bent, feet on the ground. And you're going to do a small movement right in here under the lower back. Okay, so all it is an arch and flatten where you pull your core muscles in and then you release them up. So 1 or 2 of those. I want you to feel that movement, that awareness. It was like in the butterfly, same move. Okay. Now relax that, neutral spine. And you're going to bring one leg in. Let me start with this side. Doesn't matter what side for you. This leg will stay bent. Foot is strong on the ground. Push the leg a little straighter now. It doesn't have to be totally straight. And now move around into your ankle. So move the foot here and there. Deep breath as you go. Okay, now relaxing that foot, we're going to come into the hamstring connection. Right here, bend and straighten. So maybe this one is a little bit faster. It's a little warm-up. This is often my morning routine that you're seeing. And the last one is to let the whole thing in the hip joint. This foot is solid over here. This leg is solid. Let's do the bent knee today. And bring it through. One more time. And then place that down, switching sides. Take it straight, press it, and work into the ankle. Deep breath. And then the bend and straighten. Wake it up. Deep breath as you go. Good. Pushing it straighter now. You're ready. This foot is solid on the ground. Drop and pull. This knee can be bent, of course. It could be more like this if you prefer. All this good leg stuff, it helps into the lower back. Nice. All right, bend knees. Pull them in. Curl into a little ball. Then release your head and now roll yourself all the way up. And come into butterfly. So I have to check my hair every once in a while because I'll have little things sticking out here and there. So now into the butterfly position. So your feet are further out. And you know how we did the movement where we drew it forward and then back? Like that. So you have that in mind, and you could come back to that one. But I want to add on, I want to make that a little more. So it's like you're drawing a circle on the ground with your body. So check this out. You draw forward to the top of the circle, and then it curves back down, bottom, other side. What you might do for this one is close your eyes. So don't worry about perfection on it. Just see if you can move in a circular motion. You're sitting on top of a clock and you're just taking the circle of the clock. I'm not sure what time it is on each position. I'll let you figure that one out. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about time here. Take it the other way. Up to the top to 12 o'clock. You can do that. Down to 6 o'clock. So breath, circles. Okay, I have a little combination now. It's going to be a combination of the figure 4 for the outer thigh, and then it's going to go into a twist for the body. So both of those on each side. So the figure 4 I'm going to teach today is the seated version. So if you find you don't like the seated, take your strap or just your hands and roll to your back. So I'm going to cross your right leg over and just begin with the figure 4. So using the hands behind you to press as tall as you can. Now you can notice this foot and you want to see if you can line it up so the ankle is in line with the knee. So a little alignment. And now let's focus in on this foot here. Deep breath and begin to move it around, circle it around. So a cool thing to notice when you're moving your foot and ankle is how you feel it down your leg. So now relaxing that, I would love you to rock it. So you're going to find a little range of motion in that figure 4. about lower back therapy in this part. So why are we doing this? Maybe some of you already know, you can feel the connection. This outer thigh and the sciatica, very connected to how your lower back might feel. So then you take it out, and we're going to go into a twist. So either you decide that your foot is over the top or next to. They are both equally awesome. Sometimes one works better than the other. Hands behind you, press yourself tall. I'm going to example over the top and start with a hand. This hand is behind, pressing yourself tall, twist low. So now make your twist just a little smaller. Would you back off for a moment and focus on this lower space? Twisting and wringing that out. Lower back care today. And then if you would like, you could hook the elbow. You kind of have to explore that and see if you can still get an effective twist when it is the elbow. And then unwinding that, you come back to the figure four just one more time for just a little bit. And see this foot on the ground? Here's my idea. You're going to lift it up and drop it down. So it gently deepens just a tiny bit, that figure four, deep breath, and then release down. A couple more times. So there's your first side. Take it out and try a little shake out. And something you might notice is when you drop your feet out, does that one leg release a little bit better? For me, it tends to be noticeable. It's not always the case, but okay, switching to the second side. Second leg over for this outer thigh. Rolling to your back if you wish. Notice your breathing. So now this foot that's crossed over, just begin to move it around. So in some ways, this little spot that I'm teaching from is very secluded. It's like this top little hill. However, there is a little road here next to me that goes up to people's houses. So from time to time, people are driving by me. It's a little embarrassing, but you know, it's not really. Why would it be embarrassing, huh? Then there's little noises I would prefer not to have, but who cares? So now I'm rocking the whole thing side to side. Loosening up this outer thigh, and then we'll take it into the one knee twist. I just love the way these go together. So it reaches out, that foot is over the top or next to. I teach both. I love both. Right now I'm going to teach this one. Hand back to press my body tall. Feel the twist down low, so I might back off for a moment. And it's not just the shoulders. It's right down in here, lift, and you twist low. Feel the difference. It's a little more of a wringing out of your inner body, which is good for the immune system. So I'm going to hook an elbow. I'm so sad you can't see this, but right now I'm looking over there, and there's a buck deer like walking right by me, like checking me out. Oh, he ran away. I promise, I swear, that happened just now. I love Arcata. Most of the time, I love Arcata. out of that 4, bringing it back to the figure 4, easing out of the twist, back to the figure 4. I know what I'm saying, don't you worry about it. Lift up and begin to lift your toes. And down. Sometimes with this one, my hips are too far forward, and I just take a moment, you'll see me lift up and kind of shift them back, and then I'm like, oh, that's the stretch. I get it. Okay. Releasing that. Do a little shake out. Okay. So one more idea for legs and hips. This is where you're going to need your strap, leg extension with the scarf. And strap or scarf. I'm starting to call it a scarf because that's what I always have with me. Yes. Okay, so we're going to go for this. You're going to hook your scarf onto one leg and take it straight up. And I know we've done this before if you've been with me, but I'm going to back off it a little bit. Knee is bent. Lower back awareness here. This leg could be bent or it could be straight. I'm going to go for straight right now. So check this out. The movement I want to teach you right now is like this, where you move the whole thing away from you and then you carefully, slowly pull it towards you. So you got the idea? Eyesight up. Inhale and exhale. Stay with that a few times. And now in between the two of those, right about here, you're going to put your hand on your hip, both straps in one hand, and you open it out, eyesight up, into the inner thigh. You might catch it with an elbow out there, a little kickstand of an elbow. And now I bend the knee and I bring it back up. I'm going to switch and take it across so this arm opens out, carefully across into the twist. The eyesight is going to turn away. And then back to the top. Perfect. You could just switch legs like so. When you first get into it, you don't go as intensely. You kind of back off with a little bent knee and go further away. Okay? And then you start to draw it towards you and then away. Can you connect your breathing to this movement? And then pushing it away so it's about balanced right here. Take both straps into one hand and you open it out into the inner thigh. Eyesight up. Softly breathe, practice the letting go. And then back to the top, switching hands, you guide it across, arm comes out, you guide it across into the twist. and then bring it back to the top. Bend your knee, take the strap off. I want to do one more thing here, one more idea. Pull your knees in, arms are out to the side in a T shape, and let both knees drop. Relax them down. See that? Relax them. Head turns the other way. Your arms can be out. Do you see what I tend to do is put a hand here? It's either way. And then to bring it back up, here's what I'm going to suggest. One knee and then the other, and then over to the second side. Soft breath. And then bring it back up with care for the back, one knee and then the other. Curl it and roll your way up to seated. This is where I check my hair because it probably has stuff in it. So I'm reaching out. We're going to move into the upper body, the shoulders. And so we're going to start off in seated. So I'm going to reach out and grab my pillow or whatever you have, your stack of blankets, whatever you got that props you up a little higher so you're comfortable and seated. And if you've been with me and been with my videos so far, you know I want you to be comfortable before having the cross leg. So choose whatever seated position works best. My knee has been upset with me again this past week as we got back into the semester. I kind of tweaked it, so I'm like setting this leg out here, keeping that knee happy. All right, so your hands are back. Here's what I want to do. These are familiar, but I'm going to emphasize certain things about them, okay? The first one is the open heart. Hands to your chest, your shoulders, and you're going to draw it back. And each time you press forward, one hand presses more prominently. Anyway, one hand presses more. And don't try and use big words, Kristen. Draw it back, and then the next side, I'm going to switch hands and tuck my head in. So what I'm really focusing on is opening between the shoulder blades. Inhale, and then as you press, you tuck your head and you really press it forward. And so one more time, do you see how you're switching hands? And releasing that, sitting tall. The shoulder joint is the most movable joint in your body, and lots of things can happen over time. That rotator cuff can get little injuries and things you might already be aware of, like what's going on in the shoulder. So please, as I offer my ideas, move with care, especially if you know you have something going on. Because what I offer you can help, and sometimes it can cause problems if you have something intense going on. So be careful with the more intense stretches, definitely, okay? So fingertips, we're just gonna feel some range of motion with the sunrise that I love to teach, inhaling up to the sky, and then exhaling it down. So feeling how far your arms go with comfort. Practice taking them back just a little bit. Awesome. So now you're going to take it over to one side. Use this hand on the floor a bit and reach long from those fingertips all the way down. Keep the fingertips reaching all the way down to that hip. So now feel this hand on the ground. Feel how that can move you right there. Just like an airplane. You're going to bring your arm out and touch behind you. And then center. And switch. So again, I want you to feel the action. Reaching the length deep breath. Did you forget that? I hope not. And then you're going to roll out of it. So your arm flies back to touch the ground behind you. Center. So one more time each side. That one was really, I think, a good idea. Reaching fingers. You're testing all this out. You're seeing what is a good idea for you, though. And back. So any class you teach, other side, any movement class you take, you are always practicing a little critical thinking within your own body. Your teacher cannot know your body. It's just simply not possible, especially these videos. I have no idea who's out there. Hello. All right, roll on out. So always practice your own care, critical thinking within your body as you move. Your body talks to you really clearly. Sometimes it does it later though. You're like, why didn't you tell me that while I was doing the stretch? So yeah, I've been there. Side bend. Okay, here's a new one maybe that you haven't seen. It's going to be fist into palm, fist into palm. It's going to open up between the shoulder blades. It's like this. Inhale, exhale, tuck the head and neck. You got to peek down, press, hold it, deep breath. And pull back. So you feel how that press is opening right between the shoulder blades? Again. Switching. I'm hoping you find a little spot there that you're like, oh yeah, that's tight. And you are stretching it wonderfully. One more time. The last shoulder movement I want to teach here is the circle back on each side. So I take my fingers forward of the body, and then one arm rolls you back, circles through the waist, down to the hip, and then around. One more side. Breath with it. Inhale, up. Exhale. Let's do it again and connect the breath a little more. So let me shut up. So what I want to do now is come to hands and knees and open the shoulders with the spine movement. The spine movement is also for the lower back, so awesome double benefit here. But focus on that opening between the shoulder blades. So you come to a tabletop body, straight arms. You'll see my knees are, these are elbows, aren't they? My elbows tend to bend. Pad your knees if you need. So moving into your spine, but really pressing between the shoulder blades. So release down, open, and then press, exaggerate, let your head drop. 4 more times. You might hold it for a moment in that deep shoulder stretch. And now center out, and I want to show you something. So if it's the first time watching this video, I want to show this one to you briefly. So just kick back in a seat. It's the shoulder reach, and I want to add in a little shoulder arm rotation. So I want to suggest that. So I'm going to turn towards you and reach one arm, rotate, lay my head down, and then watch my hand and arm. I'm going to rotate the hand down, and then rotate it up. Couple of those. One more time. I totally forgot. I was teaching it like you were doing it with me. That was the example. I apologize. But I want to keep it rolling here. So now pick an arm. Join me if you haven't already. Reach the arm out. Practice that rotation. Turning it down, rolling it up. up out of that, switching to the second side if you haven't already. You could also be relaxing in child's pose. A little rotation for the arm, for the shoulder. On up. So shoulder reach. Okay, so we're going to come to seated and get into a comfortable seat and do some neck rolls. Very important, and that connects down into the shoulders. So letting your arms, your hands relax into your lap, and when your head drops, you're going to notice your shoulders follow a little bit. Allow that without making it too much, without being slumped. Allow your shoulders to kind of hang forward. We're just going to hang the head for a moment. Let it hang. Soft, deep breath. So now come up out of that, lift your head high and feel the shoulders connect to that movement and shift back. Tall and proud. And then allow yourself to relax and kind of sink into the curl. And then lift it up. So throughout the neck rolls, I want you to feel that gentle curl and lift if you can find that. So it's going to be a half roll to each side. So you can watch me first or just join me. Relax your head down. Inhale as you roll up to one side, shoulders shift back. Exhale as you roll it down the center. Inhale as you roll it up to the second side. So you get the idea. Feel it out yourself. Take your time. Just close your eyes into it. And really notice what your neck needs you to do. So now roll your head. Let's go to your right side if you would. So roll your head all the way to one side and sit tall. Let it hang and reach the opposite arm away. See how my hand is reaching? Now I can't really tell you how to do this. You have to feel it out, but your head is going to tip and turn. It's going to drop or move really gentle on this side. Just gently moving it around and feeling out that space. And then lift it up. And you're going to relax your head to the second side, switching arms. So what are you noticing with this today? Does your neck need you to do this every once in a while? All you have to do is stop for a minute from your studies and give your neck just a little bit of attention. So a little movement. I really can't tell you how to do it. Your neck is going to guide you. You might even feel spots that you need to get your fingers into and massage a little bit. I'm on that side right now. Your neck is lucky. It gets all of your worries and troubles. They just go like right there. Yeah, thanks. All right, so what I'm going to have you do, I want to show something. I want to teach something. So I want you to watch first, unless you've done this a million times with me. But so you're going to hang out in butterfly, get some good hip opening, inner thigh. So I want to show thread the needle. It's another one of those shoulders that it's awkward for you to do it with me, because I don't want you cranking your neck. I want you just to be doing the stretch. Okay, so you would come to hands and knees. I'll show it forward first, and I'll just do it quicker. Remember, I'm just showing right now. Example, thread, relax. Now watch a little bit longer because I want to show the possible add-on. You're just enjoying butterfly. So you could put your palms together, and then the top arm could lift up. And then I'm going to ease out of that, do a short version of that. And then we can do it to the other side. I think I'll stay facing you. Did you see the body's like this, basically? If anyone just finds that one to be just so lame, you could do the shoulder pull across. It is an awkward one to do, so I do get that. But if you love it, you love it. So choosing a side, you want to join me now? Maybe you're liking your butterfly. Thread the needle through and go from there. If you're ready, you unthread the first side, and then you take it to the second side. And then unthreading that. Checking your hair in case you're outside. Well, you're not doing a video, so it really doesn't matter what's in your hair. Okay, so I want to wrap this up a little bit with, well, we're not quite wrapped up yet. 2 more stretches. And with both of them, I want to open your chest. So when you go back to the computer, if you have to right now, you can keep that feeling in mind. So grabbing your scarf or your strap, you're going to hold pretty wide, like so, because you want to practice with straighter elbows. They don't have to be locked, but straighter elbows, taking it back like this. Some of your arms are pretty cool with going all the way back, but don't do that if your shoulders don't want you to, okay? They know what they're talking about, okay? So I'm going to follow my breath. You guys want to come forward with me? Inhale up, exhale back. Do you feel that tightness by any chance through the chest and the shoulders? Inhale up, exhale forward. I'm going to do it one more time. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Okay. So the last chest opener, it's another awkward one, but I think you can do it with me as I move into it. So I'm going to face you. So what you might do at first, if you're trying to figure out what I'm doing, is you're just going to come down and do your little back bend and just hang out like so. Like, what the heck is she doing? So here's what we're going to do. You're going to take one arm straight out like that. Now keep watching, because I really want you to relax your neck when you do this one. So you're going to use this hand, and the head, I can't talk anymore, is going to come down. And you roll up. This is where I have to show it sideways real quick. So it's like this, a roll up like that. See how my hips? Some of you might want to go here. Some of you might want to go here. But that's just a little extra. Okay, you ready to join me? So choosing the side that you want to start with, you extend that arm straight out. Roll, relax your head and neck, please, please, please. Adding on if you want. And then easing off of that side, switching or reaching arm to the other side, slowly, shoulder awareness. And then making your way off of that. And so let's make our way up to seated. One more little finishing touch, because we should end like this, don't you think? Body's lifted, fingertips. Notice your range of motion. Inhale up, reach for the sky. Exhale down and back. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time.